YouTube, it's Brad Phillips, J3 Cub. Long day, ready to fly. Finally, it's getting nice. Oh yes, spring, get here now. We're gonna fly. This thing is giant and awesome. Here we go. We set ours up with takeoff flaps, landing flaps. As you can see, they're deployed, but we also did flaperons. I'm gonna do a clean takeoff. Here we go. 50% throttle there. As you can see, the thing will fly. The other day I flew this off camera. It was one of my first flights for weeks. Hey, that's good. And it was glorious. And so I told the camera crew, I said, we gotta get some footage of this thing because it is just amazing to fly it. Going up and around, giant S-curve. Don't be afraid to use your rudder because your rudder will be the solution to your problems. Look at that nice, tight, beautiful behavior from this J3 Cub from Hangar 9. Absolutely gorgeous. Don't stall your wing. Keep in the throttle when you need to. I'm flying on 5006S. Love the screen, guys. And love the yellow. Folks, first couple flights out of winter, you're just dying to fly. Couple steps forward there. And you don't always get the opportunity that you want. But boy, oh boy, when you finally do get it, it just feels so dang good to get it out of your system.
You do know it's still winter, right?
I love the crispiness of this plane. I gotta say, I'm used to J3 Cubs being a little bit almost sloppy on the controls, but this thing with the AS3X Plus is just locked in. Even doing stupid stuff like that, it just feels totally under control. Not crazy about the way the prop stops with the braking, but you know what? That's how you keep the thrust reverse working. And look at these tight maneuvers you can do. I understand it's not necessarily gonna be customary of a J3 Cub, but it's not dead calm right now, and this thing is flying like it is. Totally still. And just loving the way it looks in this environment. Someday, I really hope to be flying a real one here for you guys. Right overhead. And flying out of the hangar that's gonna be back here. Also known as the damn gift shop. I'm gonna go do a big stall turn in celebration of the potential that we could start breaking ground here in a couple of weeks. And then someday, if I play my cards right, there'll be a real J3 Cub doing that same beautiful pass. Now let's show you guys a slow pass. We'll even go flaps and everything. Watch this thing slow down. It comes to a stop almost compared to what we're flying the rest of the flight. And you still have good roll authority. I gotta say, the flaperons do make the thing look a little bit strange with those big drooping ailerons. Let's do right down the runway. A couple steps to your left, please. Remember, we have the trees are gone right there. There used to be a cherry, so we could never do that before. But now we can. Right there. Beautiful, effortless stall turns. And then right where we came from, guys. What's really cool about this plane is when you make a pass and it's close, you feel the wind from the airplane right after you're out of the maneuver. And I just love it when you feel the impact that the airplane has on the space around it. It is so dang fun. So guys, Hangar 9 has really knocked it out of the park with this plane. I mean, it's probably not really a big surprise. It's not a super cheap plane, but it shouldn't be because it's very well built. And I gotta say, these are the nights that I live for in RC. Because I gotta say, it is just something else to be able to be a part of this beautiful experience. Now, it looks to me like that motor is tractoring. So I'm wondering if the prop like spun free or what the deal is. Let's check. Okay, a little technical time, throttle cuts on. Let's go ahead and pull off and we'll show you guys the pack telemetry. Tons of voltage left. Throttle cut is on and tested. And I just wanna see, nope, it's good. But I'll tell you what, did you notice when I did the thrust reverse?
I did.
It kind of like spun free. Let's see if we can replicate that scenario. Okay, take off flaps on, throttle cuts off. I'm gonna do this on the pavement this time. Actually, we'll go no flaps again. Get that tail up, use the rudder, and then straight up. Absolutely beautiful. You'll notice it stalls out at the top. You can change out the prop and go to a more aggressive pitch. It's a little bit smaller prop when you're flying 6S. Okay, here's thrust reverse. That seemed a little better.
That seemed normal.
I'm not sure what the heck I did wrong that other time, or maybe I just got out of it too quick. Let's go ahead and do a couple of grass hops for the people. This plane is definitely designed to tolerate grass hops, and I really like doing grass hops with it. It just looks J3 Cubby. And bring out a nice drawn out, very low throttle, keep that thing tractoring. I'll bring it into this hole here. Hard to see it, guys, flying a shadow. Here we go. Okay, now thrust reverse. See, it seemed to be working good that time. Okay, so let's take off in the bowl. Full up elevator so we don't hit the prop when we bounce onto the runway. Camera crew, you wanna make a few steps over for me? That'd be great. All the way to the edge. Okay, here we go. We're just gonna fly right off of this hill. Oh, I love flying off. I love launching off of that hill. You good? Mm-hmm. I love seeing light through that top window, guys. Oh man, look at that thing. So like I said, you don't have to fly it like the docile plane that you expect. You can do the crazy stuff if you want. The only thing I'm not crazy about with this plane, I just don't do a lot of upside down flight. But it is pretty symmetrical still, even though the wing has that super high profile to it. Man, I love looking at that silhouette, especially with the trees and stuff. It's absolutely phenomenal looking. That's our timer, by the way. Let's go ahead and fly out here, and we're gonna bring it right back to us. So guys, I don't know if you could tell what I did there. When I made that turn, it disappeared from me pretty bad. And so I played it safe, and you ought to do the same thing. If you have an orientation issue that pops up, did you feel the air as it went by? Isn't that crazy? It's cold. There are times when planes will disappear from you, and I'd rather feel like kind of a jerk on a video and walk away with an intact plane. Look at that. That yellow pops when you get down below the dark. But the LEDs would make a big difference. Okay, here we go. Let's just try that. Oh yeah, beautiful, guys. Right into the tall grass. And let's see if we can back out because I'm lazy. Yep, almost. Okay, we'll go forward. Really lazy here. Full flat. Oh, I'm getting caught. Okay, we'll reset and come right back. All right, so we're doing a different angle because I just had to pull this out of the grass. And this is kind of like our customary junk pile here on Brian Phillips RC. And this is a beautiful line. You can see the damn runway, actually. If you're not looking too hard, look at this, guys. You can see where the damn runway is gonna go. All the way up here and all the way down there. Show them real quick. I don't know if you guys can see and imagine, but that is probably 1,000 feet or better. And it's gonna be a lot of undulation, but we'll find out if it works or not. Okay, a little bit more power, and we're gonna use it up. Here we go. Absolutely gorgeous. And just imagine that's a real plane. Hopefully you won't be imagining for too much longer, guys. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it, but we have a Super Cub that has committed to flying in too. And so that guy's name's Craig. And so we're just super excited for when that's gonna happen. And of course, he does backcountry flying not too far from here on a routine basis. I know Joel, who flew in a Cessna 172, for lack of better terms. I don't want to go into all the technicalities, but he wants to fly off of the damn runway too. Shooting the moon, in case you were wondering what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, beautiful. So guys, look at that starburst, sunburst, however you want to call it. It's just absolutely phenomenal. This is the times I live for in RC, I gotta say. Stressful day, stressful week, lots of really complicated issues we're working through trying to get this building to come together, and namely money, which sucks, but it is a reality we face. And we're getting there, but it's just taking longer and expected to cost more than we were hoping, as usual, and with everything. But boy, oh boy, this is the ticket. Look at those beautiful lines. It's so gorgeous. It's going up here. We'll see if we can take a landing toward us.
Okay.
Okay, now, my experience, obviously keep flying that plane. Visibility's starting to get pretty bad. If you get lost, just tip your wings. You can see it even better. And boy, that thing is disappearing, isn't it?
Sure is.
Just do a pass. I'll probably go to the runway.
Okay.
Use the runway this time. If you want to film from this vantage, that's fine. I just want to make sure I got good visibility. Guys, you probably can't tell in the video because the camera is so good, it keeps the lighting looking better than it is in reality.
Yes, much.
And so I'm gonna just try to take this landing here. Man, that starburst is
That's
so
really pretty.
Beautiful. If we had some more clouds, it'd be even better. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll come up here. You're probably thinking, don't hit the trees, Brian.
Yeah, that's totally what I'm thinking.
I know you were.
Jeez.
Full landing flaps. Okay, we'll try to slow it down a little bit. Will be no problem. And that's the way we like to do it. Visibility low and all. This plane hits on all cylinders, guys. You will absolutely love it. And when I'm flying just for the sheer joy of it, it is something else. By the way, here's another line of where the damn runway is gonna end up going. It's hard for you to tell on our normal shots, but those are the tracks that we've been laying down over the course of the last, and then it continues over the crest of the hill here. And so we'll have a bit of a cross where the runway overshoots and having a T for turning around vehicles and things like that. Originally, we were gonna do a helipad, but then I started doing some more research and I found out like helipads, like people don't do them unless it's on a hospital or at an airport. And then it's usually just part of a tarmac or an apron next to a building. And so I said, why would we land a helicopter here when we can land a helicopter over by the building? So I got to thinking about that and I said, maybe someday we'll do a turnaround, but it's not gonna be a helipad because the helipad will already be part of that cross. And it'll actually be bigger than a lot of professional helipads. Oh, because I found a place that flies helicopters and I went and looked and they were really small. They were like 12 by 15. I couldn't believe it. So, as you can see, the J-3 Cub sitting in all its glory. Just an absolute joy to fly. If you haven't ever experienced a plane of this echelon, I gotta say, even if that means you put off, you know, maybe one or two other good foamies, you will never regret having a beautiful balsa wood plane in the arsenal. So when you're considering, and I understand you might not be considering just quite yet because it's still early in not quite spring, don't forget to add this to your list of considerations. The J-3 Cub by Hangar 9 is absolutely wonderful. You will really like flying it. Now, the only thing that might rival it closely would be the Timber SWS 2 meter. It is very good too. Definitely performs better on 3D applications, and it's gonna give you more intense experience. But I love this type of flying. I absolutely love it. And that's why you'll catch me all the time coming out here at sunset, right when things are really starting to relax and we get this beautiful sunset and we can just enjoy this experience. It's something else. So we really appreciate you guys watching. We're gonna wrap things up early on this video. 5,000 milliamps, and we've still got power to spare, guys. We never actually hit the low voltage alarm. The timer shows me at 752 plus 8, but we were on the ground jabbering rather. So I would say about 15 minutes or so worth of flight times, maybe a little bit less on 5000 6S with the 50C C rating. So really good pairing on this model. When we did our unbox build radio setup, I believe we flew it on 4000 6S, and that was quite a bit smaller pack. Now, I believe you can also fly this plane on 4S, but in my experience, and so far with this plane, I would want to fly it on 6S, because when you bring it up and you go to just hammerhead, it's not got quite enough to do, you know, torque rolls and stuff like that in with this prop combination, okay? Did this one come with a second prop?
I believe it did.
Yeah, I think it did too, but I can't remember what the other size was.
I don't remember.
So we'll have to go back to the unbox build radio set if you want to know, or if you're ever looking for a manual on Brian Phillips RC, all you have to do is click like you're going to buy the plane on the links. Of course, if you decide to buy it, you can buy it there too. But when you scroll down, you can go to the specs and you can see exactly the manual you need. And we also have manuals in other languages if you're watching this on another closed caption or whatever. So, but very, very, very good plane. You will absolutely love it. I promise you're gonna love it. It is to die for. And in terms of transportation, it's huge, but it does come apart relatively easy, being that's a big plane. But the clips might be a little bit of a pain. So we did the clips 2 at a time. You might do them 1 at a time. Just might make it a little easier for you. But absolutely wonderful plane. You'll love it. Guys, if you want to help support Brian Phillips RC and the stuff we do RC on this channel, look no further than the links in the video description below. That's the best way you can support us if you're trying to support us financially. But if you want us to support us on, you know, the YouTube algorithm, smash the like button, watch our videos, and definitely come back for more. Other ways to support us financially: Patreon. Thanks for being a member if you are. YouTube membership. Thank you for being a member if you're a member. We're up to quite a few now, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, we are.
Thanks, guys. And then super thanks. Thanks for the super thanks. We're super thankful that you did that. So we really appreciate that. And then PayPal for one-time donations if you don't like being part of those other things. And yeah, make no mistake, I understand there's information that's shared. You might not want to share it. We get it. One-time donations are always welcome. But at the end of the day, everything that we're doing on this channel, I hope you guys could hear that. It was coyotes.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. Everything we're doing on YouTube, it's all getting rotated back into reinvesting in this aerodrome. I hope they can hear that.
I hope so too. It's pretty close.
Hopefully they're not eating the neighbor's cows.
Hopefully not. There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. There's got to be like 20 of them in that pack. So anyway, guys, here on Brian Phillips RC, we go all out so you can live vicariously through us. But wait, that's not what we do. We want to encourage you to live vicariously through your own life and follow the links, get your own planes and enjoy it. Maybe you're not going to have all 20 or 30 of them every year that come out, but I'm going to tell you this, if you get 5 or 6, you're doing really good. So if you need help setting them up, if you're just coming back, or if you're brand new to the hobby, we're going to get you up to speed. Make no mistake, there's a lot of technical jargon, there's a lot of know-how, and there's a lot of skill that you have to build. And anybody who is telling you online that it's easy is a liar. So just remember that. Don't go to liars for good advice. We tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And that includes when a plane sucks. Like for instance, this is very expensive. It should have LEDs. The Timber SWS has LEDs, although they're not quite as good as the 1.5 or the 1.7, which is ironic. But at the end of the day, I didn't design them. I didn't build them. We just pointed out the things we didn't like about them. That's an easy job. But I'm going to tell you this, the things I don't like about this plane are far, 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 far outweighed by how amazing it flies and how gorgeous it is. And keep in mind, a balsa wood plane is going to be gorgeous and awesome for years to come. While on the flip side, foamies, as good as they are, and they are getting so much better, by the way, they're still going to have a shelf life. Okay, you got to remember that. That's always been true, and everybody that's been in this hobby kind of understands it. But that's also true of the hobby for many people. So if your shelf life expired 20 years ago and you're just getting back, you're in the right place on Brian Phillips RC. We're gonna help get you back up to speed so you can get in the air. And if you're brand new and you've just been waiting all these years and you say, finally, I need to pull the trigger, Brian, can I start with this J3 Cub? The answer is no, don't do that. There's many, many better choices. In fact, you could start with a few J3 Cubs or Super Cubs. And I would start with the Ultra Micro, and it is a wonderful Sport Cub S2, super small, baby brother of this, white and blue. And we have all the beginner planes you might want to see on Brian Phillips RC right now. You don't have to wait for it to be published. It's right now, right here, right now. We got thousands of videos for you to enjoy. So check it out, brianphillipsrc.com or bprc.me if you don't want to try to figure out how to spell my name. And then you can go over there and click on different categories that are going to help you find the video that you need help with, or something that's going to help get you started with beginner choices, okay? Now keep in mind, that's highly subjective, but I have good reason to have good subjectivity because we have flown so many planes. And so we're gonna try to give you the best advice as possible, okay? All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. So much more right around the corner. I'm Brian Phillips RC. Come back for more.